I didn't bring my.
The whole meeting, we open it up and get it set, and you
Update that clock.
mic seems very touchy today.
Yeah. Can't hear.
He's way up there.
Good morning. Welcome to the January 13th Ellis County Commission meeting. Call the meeting to order. All those capable, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bob, if you call roll.
Commissioner Neil Younger,
Present.
Chair Michael Burgess.
Here.
Commissioner Nathan Liker.
Here.
We have a quorum.
On the order of business, a slight amendment after item 13, right? Now you got me questioning myself. After item 13, after the inventory, we'll be having individual Ole, I can't speak to the commission about an item regarding the solar farm. And then at the end of the meeting, we'll have two executive orders or executive sessions. Prior minutes or any other modifications, I guess I didn't ask. I don't think so. Okay. Prior minutes.
Approve them as modified.
Okay. Yes, we had a modification to the minutes. Nathan Liker was left out of the executive session and has been modified to indicate that he was a part of the executive sessions. All those in favor of the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
No opposed, passed 3-0. Consent agenda.
I'll move to approve consent agenda items A through G.
I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second on the consent agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No opposed, passes 3-0. Issues from persons not on the agenda. Sure.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name's Brendan Ibarra, Fort Hays Ground Manager. I'd just like to request that we waive the fees associated with our tipping for branches at the county landfill. For the last 6 or so years, we've been dumping there free of charge. But then it looked like with the new secure load policy that they might want to start charging us, which would be a strain on our tight budget as it is. I was just wondering if we could request to waive those fees going forward. I talked a little bit, and it seems like they might be viewing us more of a commercial operation, which we make no money off of our trees. It's routine maintenance, mainly through the winter. Sometimes during the winter, it might be 5 to 10 loads a week, but then that's followed by multiple months where we don't dump at all. So, thank you.
Okay. Thanks for coming and speaking to us. At this time, for just public comment, we'll have to kind of discuss it at a
Okay.
different time. Have you talked to Craig back there with
We
our
have, yeah.
services? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll,
I think we can add it to a future meeting.
yeah, add it to a
Okay.
future meeting discussion as we take into consideration what you brought to us.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll add that to the February 3rd commission meeting, since Commissioner Liker will not be here next week unless Commissioner Liker would be okay with adding it next week for discussion.
I'm fine with adding that next week if the other two commissioners are okay with dealing with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Anybody else from public at this time? Moving into the agenda, reorganization.
Morning, Commissioners. Darren Myers, County Administrator.
Morning.
That time of year, the second meeting of the calendar year, where we discuss the changes throughout the county, whether it's through the commission chairs to the appointed department heads, the rural fire district officer appointments, local emergency planning committee, and all the appointments that the commission makes for various organizations and help that we receive throughout the county. So there are several action items on the agenda. They're all listed on your agenda for the action items requested, as well as the motions to follow through, doing one motion at a time, filling in the blanks and moving along that way. I will sit for any questions if you have any along the way, but I know we discussed this back in December. And in the future, at the end of this year, we're going to move this discussion item up 1 month into November. And what the main purpose is for the clerk to allow a sufficient amount of time to be able to order the CIC signature forms for the checks that are approved every week. That way, the commission can have the discussion, gives Bobby enough time to get the changes, input it into CIC, get it uploaded and ordered before this point in 2027. So with that, I'll turn it over to you and I'll ask any answers you have.
I really have no discussion to follow up with that.
I guess the only thing, Darren, is I have is, with doing this reorganization is all these people have been contacted, correct?
Yes,
Like in a month?
through various
Yeah.
different organization or various different people. I've contacted some. Carissa contacts the ones that I don't, and then like the biggest list there is the LEPC committee. Verified that with All Lyle because he is the chairperson for the LEPC.
Okay.
And then like all the CKL or the library board members, those were all kind of previously approved, but anybody in question, the care council, Carissa makes all those contacts to make sure that they're still interested.
Well, at this time, I'll move the commission appoint Neil Younger as chair of the Board of County Commissioners for the 2026 year.
Second. We got a motion and a second on the table. Any discussion? Arm wrestling? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No opposed, passes 3-0. I move to commission appoint Nathan Liker as vice chair of the Board of County Commissioners for the 2026 year.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second on the table. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No opposed, passes 3-0. I move the commission appoint, should I get these right, Neil Younger to the Northwest Kansas Community Corrections and Juvenile Services Board, Nathan Liker to the High Plains Mental Health Board, and Michael Burgess to the Ellis County Library Board, and Michael Burgess to the Workforce One CEOB for 2026.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second on the table. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No opposed, passes 3-0. I move the commission designate official depository county newspaper. Let's see, do I have to read that through? Official depository of all federally insured banks in Ellis County. County newspaper is Hayes Daily News and Ellis Review when published items impact the Ellis area directly. Regular meeting days and times are listed below on the agenda, and Ellis County, Kansas Public Building Commission directors listed below as recommended by staff for 2026, which is also posted below in the agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No opposed, passes 3-0. And I move the commission approve all recommended appointments as specified below for 2026.
I'll
I'll
second that.
second, yep.
You got a motion and a second on the table. Any discussion?
Nope.
Those items are also listed below on the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No opposed, passes 3-0. Okay. And with that, at this time, I will pass the gavel over to Neil to manage the rest of the meeting.
Okay. I guess I do have one question, Darren, on like if someone was to get on the Ellis County Fair Board, how important is that to get another member's name on there right away, or is that just kind of a yearly?
They do change throughout the year.
Okay.
And I guess that Bill Jeter could advise if you want it on there every single time somebody comes and goes, but in the past, it's just been annually.
Okay.
We just update it annually.
was gonna say, there's no take back, Neil.
Yeah. All right. Okay. The monthly financial report. Everybody had a chance to look at that?
Yep.
No.
No?
Issues there.
Okay. Okay, the next one, Ellis County moving permits resolution 2026-02. Brendan McKay, Public Works.
Morning, Commissioners. Brendan
Morning.
McKay, Ellis County Public Works Director. So before you is an update to our permit for our moving permits and a resolution to accompany that. So right now, our moving permits only deal with over height loads, nothing with over length, over width, or overweight, although there is always a weight limit bridge attached to it. So we felt it was best to update our permit to have it cover all areas and aspects of oversized loads. With the one change being on there, on the final page of the resolution, there's a blank area for the penalties. Per KSA 8/1901, the penalty can be up to $500, but it's up to you three which direction you'd like to go with that.
I mean, does $500 really even cover the cost of writing the citations and dealing with it?
That's the maximum you can set it for.
Oh,
Okay, well then that's what we're gonna set it for.
that's it. Set it for that.
And so we do already have a lot of individuals filling out the permits like this has been in place.
Okay,
But this is just to make sure that we have everything, all of our i's dotted and t's crossed. And it gives a little bit more information on the permit itself to help my department out as well as the transporters.
gotcha. Okay, well, with that, I'll move to approve resolution R 2026-02 for the establishment of a policy for the moving of buildings, structures, or other oversized loads on county roads.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Concerns? I do have one. It may not pertain to this. As far as people crossing our roads, how many of those permits get to you as far as utilities, that type of deal?
For utilities, all utilities across the roads have it's not on this permit, it's on our highway use permit or right-of-way use permit. So all utilities across the roads should have a permit with us.
Okay. All right. Anything else? No? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved, 3-0. Okay, Public Works, job description update, Brandon?
So there's also one for solid waste on here too. When we were reviewing the job descriptions for the newly allocated positions, they're not new positions, but just changes part of our reallocation we approved back in July. We noticed a discrepancy between the years of experience and the requirements for each position. So this is just an update to make everything consistent, whether it's from a step one or a level 1 operator to a level 2 operator that follows the same requirements as a level 1 truck driver to a level 2 truck driver, and vice versa. And with that, it was discussed to add in the solid waste AGO2 position, which has the similar requirements of Public Works AGO2. So it's just an update for consistency. So there's parity across the board between department and between different departments.
Makes sense. This is kind of ongoing ever since we did all the updates. We keep finding little things we have to change, so. With that, I'll move to approve the updated and attached job descriptions.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those, or any more discussion on it, I guess? We're gonna keep finding, like you say. But, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, motion approved, 3-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
EMS, Danita?
Mine's pretty easy this morning. Danita Schrader, EMS Director. So every 2 years, our Region 1 would like us to renew our forms for being appointed to the Region Council, and this is simply a new form for 26 through January 2028, and I just need signatures on it if you still want me to serve on their board.
That's very nice of you to do that, serve on the board. We don't want you to leave off of there.
Is it always the director that serves on the board? or-
Usually the director, and then they can have one alternate, and I don't have anybody right now for an alternate, so.
Okay.
But yeah, it's usually the directors of all the Northwest Kansas services that are on.
Okay.
Is there someone in your department that would be interested in being an alternate?
I'm still
Okay.
trying to figure that out, so.
Okay,
Okay, well, with that, I'll move to renew the appointment of Danita Schrader to the Region One EMS Council.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, motion approved, 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thanks.
Danita.
Okay, general acceptance accounting principal waiver resolution 2026-03. Mr. Darren?
Morning, Commissioners. Darren Myers, County Administrator. Each year annually, we look at different resolutions that have to be done in accordance to how we operate. One of those is to waive the GAAP principles, the general accepted accounting principles. Basically, as we work off the cash basis law, is we can't spend the money that we don't have, or the money in the bank, so to speak. If we were to change this and follow the GAAP standards, it would require a significant amount of more work, probably additional positions with the county for the reporting procedures that would be required, as well as increased audit support for an increased audit information there. It doesn't really change anything for the transparency to the people. If at any time anybody wants to see any expense to the penny of what we expend and where we expend it to and which department, which fund, we can provide that report. We provide it to the auditors every year, and it's about 1,500 pages, I believe, just for our general fund. So we do fully record every single expense to within every single penny, and we're required to complete that annual audit every year. So it doesn't really change anything for the transparency to the public. It's just a procedure that we've been having to do, and it's been done for decades within Ellis County.
And it's done within pretty much all government associated.
That's correct.
Body.
And not all governments actually waive the GAAP procedures. Some actually go through the additional work of hiring additional staff, have finance staff that actually do a lot more detailed work and reporting that they can do. But for the most part, significant majorities of counties throughout the state do waive these.
I'll move to adopt the attached resolution to waive the GAAP standards resolution.
I'll second that. Sorry.
That's all right. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? No? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved, 3-0. Okay. Elected official salaries for 2026, resolution 2026-04. Mr. Darren?
The next item of the agenda is to ask the commission to adopt this resolution. Per county policy, the second pay period of the calendar year, all staff move to their next step on the pay scale. This would include elected officials, but by statute, the change of pay for all elected officials have to be approved by the county commission through a resolution whenever that is done. So this resolution is asking that all the elected officials in the county would move to that next step on the pay scale, just like all the other employees have moved at the start of this pay period, which I believe was January 4th. That's Sunday of last week. And this would be on the paycheck. Essentially, that would be paid out this coming Friday. Sorry, next week Friday on our payroll period.
Well, this is something that we said, we put all positions on the same scale in order to keep up with time, so. With that, I would move to adopt resolution 2026-04, setting salary step adjustments for the elected officials of Ellis County.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? And this was also on our wage study, correct?
Correct. That
Okay.
was one of the changes that was made within the wage study. It doesn't change the fact that we still have to do a resolution anytime an elected official salary is moved, but it was making sure all elected officials would be treated the same as all the other employees, that everybody would receive the step adjustment at the same time.
Okay.
More or less holds our elected officials to parity with our employees.
Like say, it's kind of a policy type deal then. Okay.
Yeah, it's all the appointed department heads and all the regular employees, all the staff are on the automatic adjustment for that second pay period. It's just by statute, we have to do the resolution for the elected officials.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes 3-0.
So one other thing, I didn't want to bring up on this, but
Okay.
as far as pay, the mileage rate has gone up, correct? So that'll adjust for our employees. Like
Correct.
the zoning board, I think they get paid mileage, so that'll go up right on.
And that's set by is it the GSA that sets the per mileage rate? And we have a reimbursement form that's in policy, and that number would just get updated up or down whenever that does adjust.
Okay.
And I don't remember what it went up to. There's a couple pennies if I remember per
Couple, so like
mile.
72 and a half cents.
67 to 72 or something.
Okay.
Okay. Next is the rural opportunity zone. Darren?
Seems like we're moving a little too fast. Let's slow things down a little bit. The Rural Opportunity Zone, or RAWS, it's abbreviated out to be, Ellis County was approved by the state legislature to become a rural opportunity zone several years ago. And what that done was to help recruit people to move to Ellis County, and they would receive two benefits if they were eligible. One was a multi-year tuition reimbursement program, as well as if they were to qualify, if they moved into Ellis County from out of state, they would also include 5 years of income tax rebates from the state of Kansas. Unfortunately, Ellis County was moved back out of that program, and we no longer have to do the annual RAWS resolution. However, even though we're no longer an eligible county, we still have to pay the members who were approved while we were a RAWS county and continue to do so as long as they remain eligible. And that's just under per our last invoice. They were trying to push any approvals through before the time limit expired. But as of last year, we were billed just over $5,700 for what we had set aside, and we did include an additional couple $1,000s in the budget just in case they did finally get approved, two more additional applicants for the RAWS program. So we are still on the hook for several more years to pay out those as long as they remain eligible. We just don't have to do a resolution anymore. So basically, just for information at this point, I just wanted to share with the commission.
Keep talking. Making up for last week. No, it was a good discussion last week.
So yeah, no action, no motion. It's just
Okay.
just information at this point.
How many years will that continue that we have to kind of have draws on our books, more or less?
The biggest thing is they have to remain eligible, but it's up to 5 years.
Okay,
It's 5 years for the income tax, so that would be on the state side. The tuition reimbursement is on our side.
okay.
So
So that would be,
should have 4 more
Effectively
years,
2030.
including this year.
okay. Okay,
20.
And that's all ran through the Department of Commerce. We don't run the program. The state coordinates and requires all the paperwork, applications, re-verification process. They just send us a bill.
gotcha.
Okay, next is a 2026 county inventory. Bobby?
Bobby Dryling, County Clerk. Every year I send out to each of the departments and elected officials through our accounting system, CIC, for them to update their inventory, which would be including adding any new or deleting any inventory they no longer have. and then that report is provided to you. And each department has done so. If you have any further questions, I'm sure Darren would like to answer them. Because we do have two different inventories, one through K-Camp and one through CIC.
And these are on hard assets. These are tangible assets. These are not our technology agreements and stuff like that.
Correct. These are vehicles to buildings, to mobile equipment like graders, to structures, computers, radios, copiers. I mean, anything that's valued $2,500 or more, or a group of items like the fire department has pagers. They're only $500, but we have about 120 of them. So it's not one item on there 120 times. It just says pagers, quantity 120 at a value of $50 or $500. That's what county policy has been for many years. And if you had, I guess, $3,000 worth of pencils, those would be on here, but just, that's the example.
Okay. Well, with that, I'd move to approve the attached Ellis County 2026 inventory report.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Only thing I would like to see, and I talked to Darren about it, some of the deals, and I know Lyle had, I think, 2 computers or whatever destroyed or trashed or whatever. The signing on the bottom, some of them are hard to me make out because I don't get to see them every day. I'm sure the people that are with them all day, I've just asked if they could, legibly sign or even initials. So, but that's the only thing I had.
Yeah, Commissioner Younger did ask me that. I can't change their signature.
No.
I know some of them are the way they are, but maybe for those department heads that Commissioner Younger had asked me about, I'll visit with those
Okay.
and have them put their initials off to the side so at least he can see who they are.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved 3-0. Okay, and this is where we're gonna put solar, if I pronounce it right.
Oli?
Oli, okay.
Can you state and spell your name for the record?
Yeah.
Morning, Commissioners. My name is Oleg Alba, spelled O-L-E-G. Last name Alba, A-L-B-A.
Thank you.
I am the managing partner of Acre Strong, and as Commissioner Liker said earlier, there's no takebacks. My firm specializes in municipal consulting. In this particular case, this will encompass what is in the industry is considered a suite of agreements. This is the pilot payment, the decommissioning bond, the conditional use permit, and the road use agreement. Historically, Kansas counties haven't fared too well in negotiating these agreements. They've never had advisors, they've never had consultants, and this is exactly what we specialize in. It's a way of ensuring that due diligence is done, and it's a way of ensuring of knowing what are best practices both inside of the state and out of the state are being implemented. As you said, Commissioner, once you sign this, there's no takebacks. So I'm gonna pause right here, see if there's any questions I can help answer.
So you specialize in civil, this civil organization and guidance. Where do you get your expertise from?
I spent a few years on Wall Street as a financier for renewable energy. Then I was a developer building across the Midwest,
Okay,
including Kansas.
okay. So you have some local experience. You're not just
I-
from out of state now.
Exactly. I have experience both from the finance perspective. I know what the numbers look like, but I also have experience from the field. I know what the field realities look like because one is understanding what these projects look like on a spreadsheet. But the other reality is what do these projects look like for your constituents, for them, or that woman's house who those trucks drive by. Or what does this look like for a township? Those are also realities that need to be considered, discussed, because you only get one time to do this right, and this is a multi-generational decision.
And how many years of experience?
Close to a decade, sir.
Okay.
Do you have members of your team that specialize in both, the construction and stuff like this, or is it a team of one?
I have a back office staff of 3,
Okay,
but the subject expertise is me.
okay.
I have nothing else.
This time, I don't have anything. Thank you for coming and
Yeah, thank you.
giving us an update
you
here, a
very
little
much.
bit of what your services are.
Do you feel, in your past experiences, do you feel that you're more well suited to represent local constituents and taxpayers in some of these negotiations and have more expertise in local elected officials?
So there are 2 things to this side. Our firm provide municipal consulting services, because historically this is what's happened, Commissioner. You have an organization that specializes in a niche product, and then they're entering into agreements and negotiating with a organization, a county, that has either seen one 10 years ago or has never built them before. So those asymmetric conversations skew to one side. And on the other side, what we provide is I represent landowners when they're negotiating their lease deals. Now, that's a separate line of our business, but essentially, the landowner, Mr. Farmer or Mrs. Farmer, the way they conduct their due diligence is they'll turn and say, John, what'd you get offered? Bob, what did you get offered? And that's the extent. And if they're all have in the same ballpark, the same price, they might agree to those terms. But that's wrong. That's not how this is supposed to do. There is a quantitative way of addressing what is fair.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yep.
I appreciate you coming, so.
Thank you very
thank
much for your time.
Thank you.
Just for a little bit of context also with the reason Oleg is here is the commission knows, but maybe most of the public is Oleg with Acre Strong was at the Kansas Association of Counties conference that we all attended back in December. And we had multiple discussions individually with Oleg in regards to the solar farm coming here in town and possibly providing Ellis County with some consulting services on negotiating or assisting the county in negotiating those different documents, the road use agreement, the conditional use permits, the resolutions, the documents, the contingencies, the pilot payments, the decommissioning plan. And since that time, through individual conversation, was asked Oleg to possibly come on board to assist the county in those negotiating from his side of the expertise of not being on the county side. So if the commission would consider that, we would have he's submitted an agreement for those consulting services, which we would put on next week's commission agenda. Since this wasn't actually on here, we'll put it on the agenda next week with the actual agreement if the commissioner would want to review and approve that contract. And then that would bring Acre Strong on with us and our legal team with Mr. Jeter over the next at least 2 to 4 months, 6 months, however long it takes to get those suite of documents completed, and provide that additional support for us as well as protections for the county on all those agreements for like Oleg said, it's not just for the next 4 months of how those are going to impact us. That's going to be 3 years of construction has one different impact. You have 10 years possible on a pilot payment, but that project's going to be here for 30 to 40 years. We want to make sure we get it all right now.
And for clarification, nothing's been decided. Again, we've decided nothing. We have signed no conditional use permits. We've not gone forward. But I think the 3 of us as commissioners recognize that we're not experts in doing this, and we're looking for expertise and expert help to guide us on the best decision for our constituents.
I guess if Commissioner Liker is good with that for next week, but do you feel that you should be present? I mean, I feel you should be to discuss that. I hate to prolong it, but I don't know what your thought is on it.
I mean, I think once, I've read through a number of the discussions and topics, and I feel confident
Okay.
on you gentlemen, so if we do decide to move forward, or if you guys decide that you'd rather have a more open discussion on it when I return, that's fine as well, but, I think looking out for the best of everyone, I think if we want to keep moving forward, we can do that.
And this also, kind of to build off this conversation, is hiring a consultant or a legal firm to assist the county in this process does not mean that the CUP is going to be approved. It could bring up issues and concerns that the commission is not necessarily fully aware of yet. And if none of those agreements are agreed upon between Ellis County and the solar developer, the commission would either just not vote or not proceed with the CUP, and everything would fall short and just go away essentially. So this does not commit us to anything in regards to approving the project. This is just to provide county staff, myself, Mr. Jeter, the commission, Justin with planning and zoning, to ensure we have as much information to make the best educated decisions that we can moving forward.
I think so. And again, it's trying to fill the gaps of where we're not experts.
Mhm.
We don't have the expertise on everything, so trying to do that. Mr. Alba, you've had experience negotiating and working through CUPs, conditional use permits, and you've probably seen a lot of the weaknesses that are associated with them. So you would be able to provide us different details on some of that, maybe to where we could, in the future, we may have to adjust our zoning to adjust those conditional use permits going forward.
Exactly right, Commissioner. I'm not gonna name which county, but I'm actually gonna go see another county after this, and we're auditing all their language. We're auditing also their agreements. They have projects already in place, and the idea is, how do you strengthen that and balance both sides, right? You know, what does this county want, and how do you ensure that mistakes of the past don't happen again? So,
Okay. I think that's a very valid point to look at as well going forward for us and for the zoning board. Because we have one project and we've got a possible second project that may or may not move forward. It's hard telling what comes in the future. So, okay. I have no more questions. Thank you very much.
Thank
thank you
you.
very much.
Okay, County Commissioner report, Mr. Darren.
Okay, Administrator.
I'm sorry, Administrator.
I will pass today. Thank you.
You sure?
Absolutely.
You were asking, it was going too fast, so, okay. Now, County Commission reports.
I have no report at this time.
I don't either. Pretty quiet week,
Okay.
oddly enough.
And alls I had was, I finally got to meet with the IBV guys, so had a nice discussion with them, and that's all I have.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, and then we've got 2 executive sessions, so.
Okay, at this time, I will move the Board of County Commissioners recess to executive session for 20 minutes under the following exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act. Pursuant to attorney-client privilege exception, subject to be discussed during this executive session is contract negotiations. The open session will resume at 9:30. In the commission chambers. Those in attendance, in addition to the Board of County Commissioners, are Bill Jeter and Darren Myers.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Anything else? Nope.
Aye.
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 Sorry.
You gotta call for a vote.
I have put my glasses back on.
Okay,
no decision was made.
Okay. Next executive session, I move the Board of County Commissioners to recess to executive session for 20 minutes under the following exception of the Kansas Open Meetings Act pursuant to the non-elected personnel matter exception, subject to be discussed during the executive session is interview reviews. This session will resume at 9:22 in the Commission chambers.
10?
9:52.
Okay. that's-
Sorry.
It's like,
Had to do a little math.
it's like we're going to go back in time.
Right. Those in attendance, in addition to the Board of County Commissioners, are Bill Jeter, Jennifer Taylor, Darren Myers.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Did you get the right time?
Okay, Okay, no decisions were made. All those in favor, say aye. Okay.
I guess. What
Okay.
am I saying I to?
No decisions were made,
Yeah,
so,
no decisions
yeah.
were made.
Yeah.
okay, all right. Okay, I guess adjournment at 9:54.
What do we do for the next 4?